Visor is going to be a mirror match. These are some pretty quick picks so far, but now Tox is deliberating.
To Sorlag or not to Sorlag.
He's to Ranger.
So much
yeah.
Sorlag. Yes!
Sorlag on Awoken.
Yes!
All right, cool. We've seen it before.
Yes! Yes!
It's going to be double Sorlag. Double Sorlag. What does it mean? All right, cool.
Everything. It means everything. I'm not sure what everything means, but it means it. I'm just excited because I just feel like I've been denied a lot of Sorlag in 2018, and
kind of light on the thickness, huh? Yeah.
2019 is off to a fantastic start because Sorlag is here, by Tox and Sirius as well. What does it mean? I don't actually know.
Prepare to fight.
We're about to find out right here, right now on Awoken. We've got Tox, we've got Sirius, and we've got our first map about to go underway.
Let's do it. Let us do it. It looks like we're going to be starting double Galena though. We are on Sirius to start with, it looks like. He's going to be getting the heavy side. I want to see who's going to start building that sort of momentum in terms of shots landed. We get a rail miss from Sirius right at the beginning. I'm slightly upset. Maybe it's a bad omen of some sort. Tox is probably going to win. GG.
That's it. It's all over now. But yeah, I'm wondering if Sirius actually had his headphones on there because you could hear Tox kind of pitter-pattering around top T, but he's still looking for him outside of the railgun. He's going to get that first hit off and going to take that one hit and run with it. Oh, but right into another shot from Tox. It's going to be tons of traded rails. Is it going to be enough to deny a heavy? Not so much, but it could be. Tox down to like none health. Looking for the machine gun, looking for the last rail, misses his opportunity, doesn't even take the shot. Mega's been up for forever, but it's all about who's got the bigger rail right now.
This is everything I wanted for Christmas. Just two aim monsters, and they want to aim at the moment. We've had a lot of railing going on now. Both players should have the lightning gun. I'm hoping we're going to start seeing the LG go to work.
Well, Sirius is here. He's ready for it. A little bit of LG coming out of him. Enough to push off and steal away that armor. It's going to be a play here for the Mega. A great rocket jump, but a perfectly timed rocket just in case from Tox. But it's not going to be enough to deny that Mega.
He's right behind. Sirius not going to know that straight away. It's going to be Toxic just keeping that upper connective position himself. Oh, it looks like he's immediately a runner. He's running across the sides of the map and taking position over heavy.
Oof. I mean, Tox is in control of the pacing here, but Sirius is in control of literally everything else. Another armor form, a missed rail, but it's going to be a little bit of pain coming Sirius's way that could deny him this Mega, as it's going to be Toxic finally getting his first pickup in a while of any of the heavy items. But Sirius is down to 98 health, no armor. He's got to hear that rocket jump, trying to go safe under the bridge, but nothing is safe on that jump pad as Toxic finally breaks, you know, the pace and gets that first frag.
2 minutes it took to get our first frag, actually. Toxic, it's almost like he prefers that rail position. It's like he's using the 2 versus 2 positions where rail area is really, really strong in 2 versus 2, and favoring it over connector, which is normally a preferred passive position in duel. Look at that LG on LG. Toxic is going to be able to win that one. It was so damn close. We are getting 51% from Sirius in that fight, 46 from Tox.
This could be a sweaty Mega, though. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So Sirius is a little bit late. He's got to realize, like, yeah, he's already got it. He's got a totem up his sleeve. I'm not going to be able to push in on this fight. Yeah, Sirius, no. He can't do that. But this could be enough of a fight to push off against the heavy. It's 10 seconds to get there. Sirius is going to be there first, which just could open him up to some more LG and rail from Tox. Wow. But a great shot coming out of Tox there.
That was a ridiculous rail both ways. Mega is there. Tox is distinctly lacking in the armor department. They are going to rendezvous possibly over at LG. We have no rockets for Tox, something to be cautious of. Well, actually, he's still spamming that hallway. However, Sirius is gone around the entire map. He's done a full loop.
Just a little bit outside of LG range, otherwise that could have been really tasty, but Toxic still on top of things here. Here's the heavy picked up. Sirius is trapped down here. It's going to come down to LG on LG, but you can see how weak he is already, and there's the rocket to finish him off. A fairly long, but also fairly clean round for Tox.
Yeah, he's kind of... I think both players are kind of feeling themselves out, feeling each other. Never mind. They're both figuring each other out. That's a much more straightforward way of putting it. There we go. Bonus point.
Nice rail through the TP. a little bit of an easier shot now that you can actually shoot through the portal itself. I don't know how interdimensional portals work, but okay.
Well, we get to decide. Or should I say,
Yeah,
it gets to decide.
Oh yeah, it is a video game, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, Tox is extremely weak. This is very painful. It's just crazy defensive rockets. He just flicks 180 degrees, does basically 100 damage, and you're safe.
Oh,
That's
no.
not from that though. Not from that. That was a
Again, I'm
great
wondering,
rocket.
like, the audio cues for both of these guys, because, yeah, earlier on in the last round, Sirius should have heard the rocket jump from Toxic. Similarly, Toxic was moving like he knew that Sirius was on his way up there, but just wasn't putting the math together. But there's the Mega keeping Toxic alive a little bit longer. It's going to be a long time before Heavy Armor comes back up, though, so if Sirius wants to fight, it wouldn't be a terrible time for it. If he's got the weapons, well, who needs anything other than LG? Shoddy might do the trick, but with 85 health left, that's going to be Sorlag down.
Gonna wait through the teleporter exit. There's not gonna be an immediate push. I think he was over the other side. Oh no, he used his orb actually to go through. That's why it messed up Sirius's mind for a brief second, and mine for many more seconds. There's a quick rail, I think, that was just hit too. So Sirius is over at natural stack. And if he wants to do a little bit of pressure, he should do it soon while that orb's not available. But even the acid spit, you've got to watch out for a lot. The amount of damage you can do if you can't find a health bubble to stop the damage over time occurring. The direct damage as well on top. And also just that direct damage, sorry, the damage over time and the spray on the floor, it means it's really annoying to cross over a position. So zoning out, I think, is a lot more possible in this
Oh, absolutely.
Sorlag meta.
Yeah, the acid's bad, definitely.
Yes, don't go in acid.
All right, so a little bit of armor taken up here by Sirius. He's got top T in his hands at the moment, but Toxic is more than aware of his position. It's going to be pitter-pattering down below by the HMG. And Sirius didn't hear those timing shards. Okay. Okay.
I think he just went over towards the tri-bolt.
Yeah.
I think he was just out of range of it.
All right, so great rocket there initially, and popping out for another one, but no rail out of Tox in that case. Sirius still has a decent stack to work with, as does Tox. Both items are going to be down for a little bit longer, so this is some great movement. That's what I love watching out of Sorlag. But playing the corner a little bit more carefully. 5 seconds to Mega. Tox spamming off against it, so Sirius knows where Tox's attention is. And now he knows where his body is as well.
Yeah, perfect spam from Tox. He's watching all the corners. Still trying to make it back in this round. 2 minutes left where he has got to secure a frag at some point in those 2 minutes. And then it doesn't matter too much. Oh, Sirius actually picks the angle almost flawlessly.
Nice movement, able to get around that corner, but yeah, playing that corner carefully pays dividends. It's going to be 8 seconds to Mega. Sirius is just going to stand on it and eat 2 rails out of Tox. Tox using the orb to get up close and personal. That's going to be the LG, enough to take him down even before the Mega comes up. So this could be full control out of Tox. He's going to see Sirius bounce over towards the LG room. Is looking for the play through the teleporter. Doesn't want to expose himself just yet. But he's going to be leaving that armor up just a little bit longer.
The last frag was very much down to Sirius's poor timing. He had an idea of when it was up, but an idea isn't enough. You need to have pretty much perfect timing, because
timing or no, you need to not be sitting on, you know,
yeah,
the best place to get railed from multiple angles.
Indeed, indeed. And Tox's timing, I've got to say, has actually been pretty on the money. I have no complaints about his timing. It seems really, really good right now.
He's looking for another way up via the orb. It's going to get it. A lot of spam coming out of Sirius, but back around the alley, it's going to be Tox looking for a lot of little tiny bits of damage. He's eating some himself. He's looking for Sirius to commit to the armor. There's the rocket jump. Can't quite catch him. Was he even out of ammo there? Well, it's going to tie up the rounds.
I'm not sure, but Tox definitely heard the piercing sight being used, and he was challenging an LG fight. And obviously, you got piercing sight. You can see the opponent peeking their little head over the top of the ledge really, really easily. Tox, as soon as he had the piercing sight, he either should have stopped peeking or just gone somewhere else.
Anywhere else.
Yeah, just leave the fight at that point. You don't need to be there. It was a great defensive measure from this, and I don't think he was personally expecting to get a kill from that.
Oof. Fairly conservative start from Sirius, is playing through Mega to get the rail, which means that Tox can just freely rotate. That doesn't mean that Sirius can easily get himself a rocket launcher, though. So he's going to be down by the HMG. Back to the teleporter. Great rail. It's not going to really keep Tox off his back here, but you know, damage is damage. And there's the rockets. Oh, eating a little bit of the spit though. It's going to be some good tracking to tell Tox that Sirius is over at the heavy. Looking for another shot.
We haven't really got any data yet to tell us actually who looks good for the series yet. It's been slow,
No.
been thoughtful, both players looking decent. Yeah, very, very hard to tell at this stage of the series, given we're only in map 1.
Sirius has got to be feeling good about that Sora-like hitbox, especially with the LG. Looking for that last rail. Can't quite catch her by the toe. Tox is back on the run with Heavy up and Mega about to come up. But Tox is in a bad position for both. A great defensive rail. Not really sure where that came from, but now Sirius can get in on the Mega, get in on the Heavy. But this spit could do some damage here.
This is so much from Tox. It's going to go into the LG. Stacks are so even. And the rail. Tox somehow gets away with that. It started as backward strafing through Banana in order to get away from Sirius's rail angle, and somehow he converts over at Heavy.
After a pickup from Mega, after a pickup from Heavy, after Sirius had done everything, now Tox is on the run, doing some good defensive damage regardless. He's able to get Banana health. No, he's not going for it, actually. He's circling back around here to peek over at rail to take away that Heavy. So Mega's going to be in the hands of Sirius here. Tox has only got 2 slugs. Make that 1. Make that none.
He's going to actually immediately get some more though. Counter way around. That's a really good pounce actually from Sirius. He's done very well there. We have got the backward strafe from Tox, however, he's not able to pick up the health levels too easily. And he doesn't quite have enough time to get back over to that Mega. That's a good chase from Sirius. He's going to be able to tie up the champion score. Sirius feels so low. That's an immediate use of the dial to go through the teleporter, but Tox is rewarded with the frag regardless. I'm always
the wrong time
scared
for
of
that spit, because that's exactly when Tox started peeking with that LG. So he's going to be back on the frag advantage as well as having Mega.
I'm always scared when people just use their orbs for mobility, you know, especially when you could get some good burst damage from them, up to 125 damage. Tox has put himself in such a flawless position in order to deal damage with the LG, which usually makes up for it, you know, the LG. Orb out, Tox, yep, hunt Sirius, and that is Tox now taking a lead in map 1.
Made you look. All right, yeah, it's going to be a huge lead here, and a much cleaner round that time.
Round begins in 3.
It definitely took some work though. You felt at some moments that it was Sirius looking like he had an advantage, but we just saw Tox be Tox and just do some crazy things. Sirius knows that he's still got to pull out something special going versus Tox. And when Sirius did get the invite, it was after, unfortunately, Avik wasn't able to play. He saw the bracket and he was like, "Oh, am I going to get to play Tox?" Like, he seemed really excited to play Tox. I'm not even joking. He was so happy to be playing him. So I'm wondering what else is going to be able to bring to the table here.
Well, Tox is certainly wanting to start things off here. Bit of a missed opportunity on that rocket, but we've got Mega and Heavy up. Tox has got Rail playing up the corner. It's pretty much forcing Sirius to take a better consideration of that Mega instead. Just going to put him back on the LG side, and here comes Tox, is barreling through, narrowly avoiding some of these totems, but right back into this corner. It's going to be some nasty LG, but Tox manages to still survive that. That was Sirius getting the first hits and getting some really good LG damage off against a Sorlag. Not the easiest Lizard to miss. But Tox still manages to get that frag.
We've got lizards everywhere now. Like map 4 lizards too, I think. Just aesthetically. That's all I got, Jaha.
Yeah, it's alright.
What?
What the fuck? What was that? It's like
one of the sickest rockets
Toxic...
I've ever seen. Oh my god.
I'm not even sure Tox was like, "Oh yeah, I'm dead now," by the way. He was still reeling from that last hit. Like, what was that?
That was unbelievable. Super. We've seen Tox do some crazy things, and now Sirius is like, dude, I'm getting some highlights right now. I don't care what's going on. I need to get me on some of that. Really,
the excitement
really amazing.
is well deserved, but Sirius looking to wrap on down. Great rocket. Not sure how he managed to get 100 damage off that, but Tox is gonna be reeling. There's the rocket jump in. Finally, Sirius heard him. This is the first time it was like, okay, cool, a rocket jump in mid-map. Sirius got the tracking, got the rail, got the damage. I'm just shocked that Toxic managed to not die at that point. But he's going to be able to take away HMG instead. Sirius is going to have a good idea of which way he's moving, but I'm not sure where that rail came from. And right into a dire orb. Such aggression coming out of Tox, but he gets stuck on the pillar.
That was a nice
Nice
weapon
Pillar's Assault.
It was a perfect weapon choice from Sirius as well. Yeah. At the very best, Tox was just maybe trying to avoid a rail angle. But yeah, you can't avoid that rocket. Not at all. And Sirius is looking good to tie up the map at the moment.
Yeah.
Unless, again, the caveat being Tox, and with the LG, I think he might just have been Tox.
Yeah, I mean, again, it is Sorlag. She kind of runs into it. She just loves munching up that LG all day, but Heavy's going to be up. Sirius can get the pick up immediately. Rocket jumps. Tox is going to hear it and duck out. He doesn't have any weapons, really. Doesn't have rockets, doesn't have rails. So he's just going to be leaving that fight for the moment, looking for a way to get back in and get something a little bit more useful. Yeah, at this range, the LG's not really going to be helping him that much. It's going to be kind of baiting Sirius to go over towards the LG side of the map himself so that Tox can get a nice, quiet, clean pickup of the railgun.
Yeah, just quiet and peace is what we want.
You do see him there, right? Yeah. Yep.
No
He sees
quiet
you.
and peace for you.
There's the trade. There's the health from the totem, but another hit. Is it worth sticking around? No. No, it's not. Not worth it.
4 rails.
2 to
4
2.
rails back to back there
Yeah.
from Sirius.
Prepare to fight.
And Tox is like, there's surely mathematically likely that you're going to miss at some point. But no, not with these two players. They're both so damn good with the railgun. Really, really nicely done, Sirius.
All right, but there's a spawn on Mega facing LG. Gonna be playing it pretty basically here. Means, you know, early rail, early rockets for Tox. And so far at the beginning of these rounds, we've had very little of them just kind of running into each other. They both just kind of take the more passive, more conservative play and just get every weapon.
Yeah, I was expecting almost maybe a more aggressive lineup. I feel like they've been starting Sorlag sometimes, I think.
Yeah,
or even
Tox did last
Ranger.
round.
But the very first round of the game, I think they both started Galena.
And here we are at the last round of the map.
I know, this is unbelievable. Yeah, crazy observations. There's a lot of
Thank
totals
you.
that have been going down too. Actually, I think Tox has been a little bit better on that, but he's also been
Didn't
losing
see him
some.
there.
All this hurts. This hurts a lot for Sirius. He needs to get out of there. He's found the other totem. Major items are coming back up. No rockets in this instance. It's so annoying, but the LG still trickles through and secures the first kill of this pivotal round.
I mean, Sirius does have aimbot quality LG, and especially against a Swarlag, you're kind of asking for it. He's sitting at 47% right now, by the way.
2.3k damage.
Yeah.
This is unreal.
And it's going to be really tough for Toxic to get out of this one. I mean, Sirius even has a rail for the long-range punishment, but Tox is just going to go down at the hands of the SSG. Tox down to just his ranger now. Sirius is weak, 23 HP. Can he survive Tox's own shaft? No, he cannot. But at the same time, Tox doesn't have a whole lot to work with here. Mega's going to be back up. Armor just got taken, so even off of the spawn, Sirius has a little bit of survivability under his belt. And Tox still needs a rocket launcher. It's going to be a big fight over the rocket launcher. LG on LG. Who's got the better bot?
No heavy here for you. He needs to hit a clutch rail or something. He switches, but it's not enough time. Sirius is going to take the first map. I mean, already that felt like a series in itself. That was insane stuff from both players.
It was a late switch. He didn't have Dire Orb. I'm not sure what Swarlag's victory pose is doing.
I think he was right to stay with LG a little longer because I think there was just over 90 collective health and armor for Sirius at that point. So it's like he knew he needed a teeny tiny bit more damage, but I mean, what can you do? Sirius is LG when it's on you.
At some point, you decide that the battle of attrition is not going to go your way. You need a tiny bit of burst. I didn't see if he had starter shoddy or anything like that, but
there also might have
like
been a timing error on heavy because I feel like backing off maybe around railway would have been better than just staying in the sort of heavy pit, which is usually a death trap at the best of times.
Well, we just saw Tox getting toppled on Awoken. We're going to be going over to map number 2, which was something.
Which was Blood Run, actually, which is Tox's map pick.
Yeah, right. Classic map doesn't get much older than that, actually. First released in like 97, a few months after Quake World. Yeah, so Tox has been around almost as long as the map itself.
And Sirius is younger than the map itself. He wasn't born by the time this map was made in its first iteration. Although there's been many evolutions of this map, and Blood Run that we have in Quake Champions is the latest evolution.
I don't feel well, Zoot.
Anyway,
knowing things
let
like
me
that.
talk about
Jeez.
old and young people in that case, because
Yeah.
we do continue among each, not maybe to make us feel both worse. Again, Tox is one of the old legends of the game, and he continues to impress at all tournaments, and he's always one of the most fun players to watch, whether it be on tournament or on his personal stream or something like that. Sirius is a sort of fresh face. He's like next gen Tox. Is that fair to say? He hasn't obviously
Yeah,
hasn't.
but he's way less fun.
He's very different. Just
Yeah.
I don't know. He doesn't. He's very vocal, and he doesn't speak through his play quite the same, even though his play is very loud. That's one way to put it. But in terms of aim, I'd say he's very, very similar to Tox. It's tough to tell who has the better aim sometimes. And
I mean, we saw it in
lately,
those rounds. It was
people have
down
said
to
serious.
LG versus LG. One of us is going to go down. And even their rails were very evenly matched. We saw a lot of just trade after trade after trade after trades, to the point where you see this a little bit between like Cooler and Claws sometimes, where you go, all right, we've both got fantastic game. I'm just going to prove that I've got the better aim, even if it means that I'm sticking myself out with less than 90 health for a rail fight. I'm still going to prove that I'm better than you, and it doesn't always go that way. It doesn't always work out. Maybe that's one thing to review is, I don't know. I'm not going to tell them to be more cautious than they should, but there is some element of ego there.
Yeah, I mean, some of the most hilarious series we've seen in the past have also involved Tox when he goes against someone the likes of, I don't know, the old Sturmies and Strengths and
Oh yeah, when
other
Tox
people
goes
with
SSJ, that's it. Yeah, he can take anybody down.
yeah, and it's just you're just watching an aim off, and all they care about is out aiming each other. The thing
I don't know
about
why we
Tox
included
is,
strengths in that picture, but okay, yeah.
I mean, it's you know, it's an old picture, okay, it's antique at this stage.
Ancient.
But Tox is one of those people that if you can see in his gameplay when he's just suddenly got this click of confidence, and
yeah,
suddenly it feels like nobody in the world can withstand him. The thing is, it seems to be quite. I don't know if he knows how to control it even. You know, it's like one of those superheroes which has just discovered a power, but it hasn't kind of tamed it yet. And it feels like Tox is always in that stage, at least for the last couple of years or so, where he has those possibilities, but he needs to dig really deep in order to get there. Or I don't know, like there's a clapper on it or something, or there's something else triggering it to go off. I'm not even sure. But Tox, it's within reach, beating anybody. So Sirius has always got to be careful. And when Tox is in that mode, you've got to have the best defensive player in the world. Otherwise, you're not going to stand a chance.
All right, but here we go on Blood Run, and I'm sure it will. As Sirius spawns small armor, it's going to be a Ranger and Galena fight immediately on the Mega. Gauntlets are out, machine guns are out. What was that?
I think Tox
unnecessary.
Regrets going there for that item. And there's a... There's another rush, and Tox is like, the super nail gun's pretty good. You better get out of my way. And Sirius didn't get out.
Can we play now? Can we play the game?
It's like it's back to 0-0.
Yeah.
The champion.
All right. So Sirius as a Sorlag, which is a decent spawn stack. Oh, but right down onto a totem, just teabagging the totem. Never super comfortable. As Mega's taken away by Tox. Surely he's got a rail of his own now, and that's pretty much all Sirius has. He's looking for that angle. He doesn't have anything that he can really make the jump for. He's going to have to drop if he wants that armor, but he's going to bail out, go get the rocket launcher, knowing that that's the safest time to go get it. But coming back in through mid could be a little bit tricky crossing.
You've probably made the observation already, but I just realized Tox isn't using Sorlag this game.
Yeah.
But we still got Sorlag, which is... I wasn't expecting Sirius to be so like excited to play Sorlag. Well, it makes me happy. With the absence of Anarchy and Slash in this game, both of them we've seen great Anarchy and Slash. I think Tox is probably more well known for Anarchy and Slash even.
Yeah.
Anarchy, surprisingly, Slash obviously. They have denied us the opportunity to see them on these channels.
Yeah, and Anarchy can be, you know, kind of proxied out by Sorlag, but Sorlag is just so much easier to hit. This is a bit of a trouble, and even considering that, Sirius did a ton of damage putting Toxic down to his last champion this round. It's going to be getting a bit of a rough spawn down in the blue corner, but it could be a red corner. Nope, it's going to be Toxic actually pulling that frag back. Don't step in the acid, though.
Yeah, that was damn close. Sirius was hoping for a bit too much just then. LG off the spawn versus a Sorlag, who's not that well stacked. I mean, it was an obvious fight for Tox to pick in perfect execution, as you'd expect. The Heavy is up, and Tox is just about done making noise on that passageway. Which is surprising. If you spam loads and loads and loads, doesn't matter what map you're on, you're denying yourself sound cues from other parts of the map. So
yeah,
Tox is almost fortunate that he wasn't getting rushed down, say, from the teleporter exit or from the rocket area, for instance.
And we've already seen that Sirius doesn't know how to listen anyway, so yeah. You want to be setting yourself up for failure, but 2.5 minutes in, we're down to our last champion, Visor on Visor. It's going to turn into a bit of an LG play, but Sirius has so much stack to chew through, and that's exactly what those rockets are for. Nicely done, pinned up against the wall.
I mean, I was happy seeing an LG versus LG fight between these two, but those rockets were above standard. They met the quota there for what needs to be great rockets, and compared to the LG that we see from them.
Tell you what about Toxic, his rockets are above par.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Understatement. Yeah. All right, so great initial rail coming out of Sirius. Tox is having to use the Dire Orb just across mid. Doesn't really get anything out of it, except maybe a priority on this rocket launcher, but Sirius is going to know that he's down there, and he is set up. He's tossing down the totem already. He's ready for the fight, and he's looking to tighten the noose. Toxic hasn't made any sound, but Sirius has sniffed him out. And this could be the end of Tox's Ranger. There it is.
That was good play, good detective play there. I could see him with his smoking pipe and what else? What else? A monocle and what's the type of hat that?
A fez?
No, not a fez.
No,
The one that Sherlock Holmes wear. What's that name of that hat?
That's a.
It's not a fez.
That's a Sherlock Holmes hat.
Yeah, we'll call it that.
Yeah.
I could see it.
I prefer a fez myself, really.
It's not topical, but sure.
You started it. All right, so Sirius. Mega's up. Mega's taken. Tox is, I don't know, dancing on the catwalk. It's like he's in Cats. That's a Broadway joke. But Sirius taking away Heavy. He's got one rocket under his belt. I'm not sure that's going to be enough for this fight. He's not thinking it either. He's thinking, all right, screw rockets. I'm just going to go for all times rail. And Tox is back in the power-up room, but it's not going to be a whole lot that he can recover on here. Armor taken, and Sirius is tightening the noose. But as happens every time you push in that room, yeah, your opponent just manages to escape. Mega taken, though, 8 seconds to Heavy. And Sirius is tightening the timing up. 5 seconds.
Yeah.
It's going to be a bit of a fight over the Heavy if Tox pushes out at all. He's not going to do it. He's going to stay nice and snugged up in the power room.
So, Sirius, well, he's got the rockets. He needs to make sure he has plenty of all the weapons available to him. He doesn't need to frag. He just needs to be really perfect on timing and not get caught out by one of those sort of super nail gun rushes that Tox has been showing us he's very capable of doing. And as long as he keeps that time perfect and can even do a little bit of chip damage, yeah, Tox is in a world of trouble. Good rocket damage, almost hits the mid-air, but that's when you want to break away from the fight, when you've done enough, the items are coming, and there it is. Tox is back to square less than 1.
I mean, you were talking about on Awoken how Tox was playing a little bit like TDM, and here he was playing this room exactly like TDM. Play Galena, get as many totems down on the power-up as possible. But it didn't go his way, and even if Sirius wanted to kind of play out that 1 frag advantage for the clock, now he's got 2 frags up. A little bit weaker for the wear.
Yeah, there's a chance for Tox to come back into this. He hasn't got the piercing sight. He's done good damage, but Sirius is forced to back away from the fight. Major items are up. Sirius is actually going to go for a run through towards Mega Health. That could have gone quite badly. This tri-bolt going to have a decent effect. Look at that, making that jump up to Heavy is just something, oh my god, I'm almost surprised that Tox thought about it, but he's just desperate for resources, knowing that with 1 minute and 45, he's got to do something. What a dismount though, no further damage taken.
9 out of 10 on that one for sure. Sirius right back into power up. Gonna have plenty of ammo for this fight. Tox is be popping his ability, which means Sirius, it wouldn't be great for him to drop down just yet. He's looking for the right time, looking for the right push. And on this jump pad, it could be serious damage, serious danger for Tox, but he's going to be looking for the 225s himself. That's going to keep him alive, just not long enough. Don't bet against Tox's LG.
So did Sirius run out of LG or something? Is that what happened? Because he was using the
And
shotgun.
out of willpower.
I wasn't entirely sure whether he did, because the weapon choice was at that range maybe a little questionable if he hadn't totally done the maths in terms of the stack that Tox had. Wow. You don't see that anymore. That is.
What is that? Yeah.
That's classic.
That's nasty. I mean, to be fair, Tox doesn't really have a whole lot else to work with here. He's got nails. He's out of rockets. He's out of LG. Yeah, you're out of LG. Click. But 5 seconds to Mega. This could be a big collapse. He just doesn't have the weapons to really defend it. He's playing this really messily, getting bounced up against the wall, and that corner is going to be where he's put. 1-1 on Blood Run.
You can see he was like, I really want to be aggressive, but someone give me some weapons, please.
Yeah.
I just don't have it. I mean, he didn't want to take the time to, you know, maybe he could have found some time 20 seconds ago or something to do it. It's like he didn't want to lose that tracking that he currently had on Sirius. It was unfortunately a bit of a lose-lose for Tox at that point.
As things are now tied up, Sirius is going to be spawning up, eating a rail, but it's immediately negated by that Mega. Dropping back down to the blue corner, and here's a big collapse from Tox, but just slowed way down by that LG. Sirius's shots here are just absolutely insane, and Tox didn't even really get more than one rocket off.
Yeah, a little bit of damage from him. No piercing side, actually. I thought for a second I could see that like so. That hurts a lot.
Nice
Good
pebble.
tribal. Really, really good. And there's a
Tox
drop
is
down.
pushing in for it. Nice rockets. That's what he needed before. Yeah, Sirius has actually got a bit of a tough choice here between Sorlag and Visor. He's going to go for the Sorlag instead. But, I mean, that mobility is not really helping him out a whole lot right now. Like, yeah, you can get weapons, but there's not a whole lot of items to play for. If that frag had happened at any other point, then yeah, Sorlag would have been able to collapse on something very quickly. But as it stands, Sirius has already taken a rail between the legs. Down below, there's the pickup sound for the rail. Tox is going to be more than aware as the Mega's back up. But that's actually a bit of a slow play towards the Mega. That's a free one for Sirius.
It's not worked out too badly for him, actually. I'd call that a bit of a win for Sirius. Getting the stack going, weapons look good. He's even now just got some damage over time, actually. The blood pool will cure that, or also the 25 down by heavy machine gun. Sirius can start challenging on the damage a little bit, as long as he doesn't take an entry rail of some sort, which seems almost imminent. But it always does.
That's exactly what Tox is looking for, but he's out of rockets himself as well, so Sirius is going to be able to get away with yet another Mega. 5 seconds to armor.
Did he try a plasma ground boost? That's not... That's like a defrag only thing. I don't know what he was doing there. That was very, very
He was
weird
hearing the
to
drum
see.
and bass in his head, but Tox is just giving items away to Sirius at this point, and he's running out of rockets. He's just about out of rails. Yeah, get that ammo. That's what cost you last time.
Oh my god, if that trick's possible in Quake Champion, my mind is blown. Do it again, Sirius. Until success.
Sirius is
Wait,
looking at a
is it
great stack
working?
here. Did he do it again? Good to go watch Sirius now.
It might, I'm not sure. I mean, Tox is the one who's on screen. He's the one who's been successful at the moment. So I'll go over there. But this is
Right,
very
this is a
nutty
great
stuff.
stack that Sirius is working with, and Tox goes down. A perfect switch to Shoddy, and a very meaty frag indeed. He lost a bit of a stack for that. Is that enough to justify Tox pushing in on this Mega? It's a little bit too late. In many senses of the phrase. I mean, that is just nasty stuff. Oh, but it's going to be a gauntlet out of the teleporter. There's no way Tox is going to win that, but it was pretty. It was fun. It's just not going to, you know, kill the guy.
Sirius is looking decent at the moment.
Round begins
He
in
could
3,
could be about to make a 2-0 lead in this series.
fight.
And I was feeling like Tox. I mean, it's a close series. It's not. If it goes 2-0 to Sirius, it's still a bloody close series. But I'm expecting Tox to get some map dubs going.
Is the only release.
Yeah, I'm really wondering how much to read into that gauntlet at the last moment. Maybe Tox is able to reset himself for this round, but it's going to be a bit of a messy play on the catwalk. Tox wants to commit to this, but there's not a lot of justification for it at the moment. Sirius, LG, Nails, wants a railgun. We're just playing that out very slowly. Gonna make Tox decide between the rail side and the Mega side. And Sirius has made his own decision. It's a decent amount of nailgun damage, actually. And there's the rail picked up. No hit just yet. Great shot out of Tox with the heavy armor back up. Tox is going to need to commit at some point. He doesn't have a dire orb.
Just waiting for that jump across. Sirius trying to bait that he's leaving. He does get the rail anyway, but Tox keeps hitting these vertical shots. That's really, really dangerous.
But the totem has a good way of negating those. No damage
Yeah.
from Sirius at that point. Mega's gonna be back up and back in Tox's hands. This is good for Tox. I mean, one of the things that happened last round was he just let Sirius get a lot of these items and wasn't quite as aggressive defending them. Here, he's definitely bringing a lot more teeth out and making Sirius pay for it, keeping him in the back hallways.
And
Yeah.
Rails. It's just crazy what Tox is doing with that at the moment. Sirius is feeling really choked. Tox, I think, would want this rotation of major items. Looking for a frag is going to be super important. Here's the Mega.
But at the same time, I mean, frags are still even. Sirius is just burning some of the clock. But he's being nice and conservative here.
Well, he can just wait for a mistake. He can wait
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Tox to just get in his sights for some quick damage, but any chip damage that Tox does makes the game infinitely more hard for Sirius. I think Tox needs to get something from the stack really, really soon. And he just found a way in.
Ooh.
Loads of damage. Orb comes out. There's less than, well, there's no stack left from him. Tox does get that kill.
That was a Sirius feeling the call of the rocket launcher. He just didn't know it was going to be Toxic's rocket launcher. But there's the steal for the Mega. This is where things potentially turn around for Sirius. But Tox, he's got to close his window pretty soon. He's got 20 seconds before the next play for items. He's got one rocket again, only 4 rails. That was a great rocket. But against the sword leg, yeah, that LG can do all sorts of work, but not enough to burn through that Mega. Sirius just barely surviving that. Tox needed to do a little bit more math before he stood his ground.
It was nice damage from both of them, but you've got good starting stack. Those light armors that you're taking can also put you up for more than what a lot of other champions can get. Both of them looking longingly at that heavy. It's going to be interesting to see now what the play... Oh, actually, Tox already went for the Mega Health. He did that so quickly, I don't think Sirius even realized it. I definitely didn't.
Yeah, a little bit of panic, a little bit of getting the hell out of there, not wanting to be in that fight for the heavy. And now this is going to be a fully stacked up Tox. I mean, that's good rail, good damage coming out of Sirius, but now Tox is one frag away from getting the rounds tied up at least. This is a bad position for Sirius, but he manages to get the clutch rail anyway. 80 health, he's waiting for this Mega, dancing on it, just begging for it to spawn up. 7 seconds to heavy, this could be Sirius taking full control, but as you can see, Toxic is up at the teleporter with the totem already out in play, with a super shoddy as well, so that's some really good damage from Sirius. Just cannot really commit to that heavy. It's got to be gutting for him.
Sirius just want, again, both of these players, that's normally a perfect move where Tox goes in on the spawn to Sirius, but these players would land those 2 rails in a row under pressure. Oh, Sirius tries to do it again, but it's not going to work. That is going to allow us to get to a tied round once more.
Prepare to fight.
And see if we can get the whole series tied up, or
Round
if Sirius can take an
begins in
advantage.
3, 2.
He's got to be sweating a little bit here. Like you mentioned, they're both fairly emotive players. I know exactly what Toxic's face looks like right now. All kind of veiny and bulgy, just how I like it. But Toxic, able to get a spawn on Mega and LG. He's got everything he needs except the railgun. He's kind of
Rushing
dancing
angle.
around for it right now, using all of his LG ammo.
Doesn't commit. I'm very surprised he didn't commit. He had Sirius down to about sub 10 points of health.
Yeah, they were both very low. Toxic just needed one more cell to seal the deal. But with Mega coming back up and armor immediately after, Toxic will have an advantage for a rail. Doesn't quite get the hit though, but he manages to escape one of his own. You can hear the pitter-patter of little feet heading over towards rockets. Yeah, that's one of the most classic shots in the map. At least as of Quake 2.
That's that little bit of pressure that Sirius doesn't really want to be taking. However, not full armor for Tox is a bit of a concern. Great rockets from both players. Tox really wanted to heal off of that totem before anything happened. He's going to respect Sirius a lot by going for the light armor before Mega, just in case a crazy rail comes out which denies him. But it's all...
I like this angle.
safe.
He just doesn't have any rockets to really play the lips. He's looking for the peak shots with the rail, decides it's not worth it, popping back out of there. Tox is still looking pretty good on his stack. He's going to have totems up.
He's looking really good, actually. He's got a nicer position, I think. Being able to control going over the heavy is decent. If he can land a bit of tri-bolt damage over here, he should have heard that this has been taken. Checking if there's any pressure through the teleporter. Now he can max out his armor. See where it goes to next. Good read. Really, really good tracking. Reading into the mind of Sirius and taking everything. There's 3. You can see, count all the totems up there. There's 3 totems that Sirius currently has.
Oof. But doing a little bit of damage out of the teleporter. Toxic is going to get that sound cue. He's only got the 1 rocket. He's always managing to find himself with almost no rocket ammo. But he's still maintaining control of Mega.
Nope.
Yeah, Heavy's back up, and he couldn't rocket jump for it. That actually could have saved him. He could have taken a lot of damage. Sirius was more than ready for that fight.
It's a fight I wanted to see, but Tox again.
Yeah, me too. It would have been entertaining. But Tox is still alive here. That's what's important.
It is. He's always pressuring with the ammo, and there have been a couple of ammo changes going on. Like when you pick up the default rocket spawn, you can only get +1 ammo on it after you've got that initial 10. These are massive rockets though from Tox. That's what he needed it. That's what he needed to use them for. And an advantage here where he really needs this map win.
Looking good on the LG, but this is going to be some really close range nail gun. That was really well played out by Tox. I have to appreciate that, where you get just the right distancing to go, all right, his damage output from the nail gun's not going to be that insane anymore.
Yeah.
Point blank like that, yeah, you don't want to beat anybody against that. Case in point right here. All right, Tox managing to hold his ground on Blood Run, as that'll be tying up the map wins 1-1.
The timing couldn't have been better for you as well, actually. So,
Thank
and
you,
this
Tox.
is how you
made,
use.
You made me look smart. Yeah.
Look at that LG from Sirius, though. 54%.
54.
That's just stupid. That is
Stupid. Yeah,
it's
I think that's how
unnecessary.
Rafa described it too, right? Like he's just got stupid LG, and like
Yeah.
it's unfair. And we've all seen it on land now, so
Yeah, Rafa.
it's
just,
legit. It's real.
Rafa's also just. I don't know, when he saw it on land, he was actually just angry. I've never seen Rafa really get angry, but he was just angry that this
Yeah.
LG was happening. Right, we're
I don't
going
blame him.
to
It is ridiculous.
yeah, we're going to Ruins next. We're tied up, by the way, 1-1, so we couldn't be closer at this stage.
Yeah.
And it's not making my ability to predict any easier, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, neither. I was sweating for a little bit. If Sirius came very close to winning Blood Run, and I was going to be really worried that my prediction about this going to at least 4 maps would have been blown out of the water. But we're back. We're good. I still want
Yeah.
to see it go to all 5. I think that's more than possible. But here we go, getting ready for Ruins of Sarnath.
Indeed, this is Sirius's map pick as well. Hang on, let me confirm that. Yes, it is. It is
yeah.
Sirius's map pick. His second pick, obviously, he won Awoken at the beginning, and Corrupted Keep is going to be next. By the way, guaranteed to get that, and that is obviously Tox's last map pick before we get over to the potential tiebreak. Wait, no, Ruin. It's
Yeah,
Molten. It's
yeah.
Molten, and then Corrupted.
Molten,
All right, so
yeah.
Molten was the pick from Tox. My bad. But we are into the champion selection stage now, where Tox is going to go Galena first. Both of them been playing a lot of Galena this series. Had a lot of changes, obviously, in the last patch. Now the damage is only 40 instead of 50. Healing is kind of the same. I feel like I'm missing one of the changes.
I think that's about it.
No, no Sorlag. That's a pretty open map, I guess. So maybe it makes a bit more sense to not have Sorlag. But we're going to see Eisen between these two for the first time. And actually, I think Eisen
yeah.
for the first time this tournament.
Yep.
I want to say.
But I do like Sorlag on this map, just because if you can't play Anarchy, but you still get that the outside balcony spawn, then yeah, you get a lot of advantage on weapons. You can like drop down immediately for Rail and LG and get back to Mega Rocket before anybody knows what's up.
Wait, we are getting Sorlag.
Round begins in
Oh, really?
Oh, we are. No,
Yeah,
for some
yeah.
reason I didn't see Sorlag. My bad.
Yeah, all right.
And
She's
it's
just so
Tox.
svelte. Yeah. I'm actually going to watch Tox here out of the gate. Because, yeah, he drops down immediately for LG Rail. I think that spawn from Sirius allows him. Nope, he's not going to be able to get in on Mega and Rocket. So, yeah, this is Tox with everything. And he's able to collapse back on LG Rail before Sirius can really get a grip on any weapons.
He's got so much speed around this map as well. There's so many places you can get momentum. Ruins is just a really nice map for CPM movement anyway. And there's that full natural armor. He had a bit of entry damage. So
Oh,
I
there we
think
go.
He's going to look for an entrance into the fight really soon, and they're going to meet up. There's going to be explosions over here. One good rocket, follow-up decent damage, and the rail 2 with Tox taking first blood.
And the beautiful thing about that is if you play your cards right and your opponent doesn't move just so, then they have really limited options about which way to go, and you can just set up the fight just like that. Yeah, so next heavy that comes up, it's going to be another one, but there could be another fatality right here, right now. Sirius goes down immediately, and just like that, 1 minute in, down to his Galena.
Tox was absolutely expecting to push through the teleporter. Sirius was hoping that maybe he was going to be ignoring that. Again, running out of rockets. The Mega's going to go up in a
That might
second.
actually help him out this time. Yeah. That was fine. It was planned. It's all good. 7 HP.
Wasn't even close.
Prepare to fight.
Easy game.
At least it didn't like freak out when he realized he didn't have any rockets. Just kept the speed going right up the stairs, right into that fight.
Speed kills most things, I
Fight.
think.
Yeah.
He's going to stick with Sorlag, actually, right into the second round. He's been doing so well with her, so why the hell not?
Well, it's not as good of a spawn for Swarlag this time. So he's going to try to go for the close range damage with Spit and the nail. Sirius manages to get the LG off, though. Taking a little bit of damage from the Spit, but he is back in charge of the map.
I'm surprised he avoided so much nail gun damage, actually. Tox is really trying to get on it, use that weapon. When you're connecting with even a third of it, you're still doing crazy damage.
Yeah.
Sirius was all over it, so well played from him.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to reiterate that it comes down to where you spawn. I mean, spawning back there, or even getting any kind of armor spawn for Swarlag, doesn't do a lot of good. It's like on Awoken, if you go Doom Guy first, you are hoping that you get a mega spawn. That way you can collapse onto the rocket launcher before the other guy can. But if you don't get that spawn, then, you know, well, what's the point?
Just forfeit restart, right?
Well, or, you know, lose your Swarlag like we just saw. But it's going to come down to a fight on the jump pad. No, Sirius is actually breaking away towards the Mega. Not willing to go for it just yet, but he might be able to get in front of Toxic on this armor. He has to realize, oh, Toxic is at LG. Maybe he doesn't know the exact timing of the armor and just assumes that, okay, Toxic is on that side of the map. So obviously he's already gotten heavy, which means he's now outside of hearing range for the heavy. Seeing Toxic leave the heavy right now, that might give him a better idea. But no, he's going to be waiting for this heavy, and he's going to be way off base. Yeah.
No,
Oh,
it's
that's
still not up.
Yeah.
It is a nice room, though. You're probably warm. It
yeah,
might be cold
sure.
outside.
The ceiling could use some work, but it's all right. Oh my
Ow.
god.
What?
Oh no.
Why does it work out for him? Why does it work out for him?
No, he's got that.
Feels bad for Tox. Oh my god.
That feels awful. Because yeah, Sirius's initial mistake was, you know, he saw Tox down at the LG, and he didn't immediately make the connection like, oh my god, I'm between him and Heavy. He thought that Heavy was already taken.
I was thinking that maybe Tox was assuming that Mega would be immediately challenged for, because it just made no sense, Sirius's play. But fortunately, aim helped him, and some opportunistic play towards the bounce side from Sirius also, you know, it was all slightly fortuitous, but it was well
Goes to show,
executed as
though,
soon as it was there.
look both ways before going down a jump pad.
Yeah.
That's what my mother always said. Great corner play with the Rockets from both of them, but Toxis barely has enough stack to manage to squeak on through. Getting the pickup for the Mega, 8 seconds to Heavy. And yeah, this is going to be a big fight over it. 70 damage off the bat already, dodging a rail. But that might cost him the play for Heavy. Nope, Sirius still doesn't know it. But Toxic doesn't know that Sirius doesn't know it. But he's going to go for the fight anyway. Great LG to finish him off, putting him down to a Galena. Heavy's still there. It's getting dusty.
The more you know. That was Guilty Stream says, I think. Great rails as well.
Yeah, that is a phrase that 40 Lions has coined.
It's actually he invented that phrase, I'm pretty sure.
He did, yeah. You guys have way worse PSAs.
I don't really know what happened this round. I feel like I blacked out, and somehow we're at like a.
It's been bizarre.
It's been an odd one.
Heavy gets mistimed, Heavy gets left up, but Toxic's LG and his rail are the bedrock by which we can base everything.
There is some justice in this world.
Yeah.
I mean, all those timing errors from Sirius, and he was still getting the kills, but Tox does turn it around and take the round. I feel like that was a fair outcome to the round.
Fight.
I don't know what happened for most of it, apart from that weird bounce pad thing, but Tox got there in the end. That's what counts. Sorry, Sirius.
Well,
time your heavy,
it's all right.
boys and girls.
Another non-ideal spawn for a Sorlag and eating a rail right off the bat. Can't feel good. Sirius is going to be back over at the small armor. Has Sirius gotten a rocket launcher yet, though? I wonder. Check. Oh, yeah, hasn't broken in there just yet. So Toxic is going to get knocked off by yet another rail. But there's a bit of a split between the armor and the Mega right now, so if, yeah, Toxic can just get in and win this. Oh, but his rocket bounced him right into the armor. Not supposed to do that. He'll like that. Oh, great. Nail gun to open up. And yeah, that totem will not survive.
I don't like the push in from Tox towards the heavy. I feel like it had to be the most, oh my god, I feel like it had the most perfect rocket to help him get it. And still require a little bit of luck that Sirius wasn't going to land some amazing shots anyway. He should have backed away, maybe played more of a Mega position instead. But when you're this far ahead, you've got 2-0 advantage. You kind of want to play the low percentages as well, because if it works out for you, then you're storming away.
The tough thing about that position is that if you break away, your opponent can get heavy and still manage to get the Mega before you can, unless you rocket jump. So it's a tough timing. I mean, getting away from that heavy doesn't necessarily mean getting away from the fight, unless you just give up Mega and heavy. So it's, yeah, I can see where Toxic didn't want to give that one up. Sympathize.
Poor Tox. Well, poor Tox might be about to lose this round, actually, because Sirius has just found himself a lot of armor. He's got to be careful going into this fight. But here it is, now can get to a bit more of an even LG fight, and he's got the stack to work with. That is going to be a round on the board for Sirius here in map 3.
A little bit of a corpse shooter there. All right.
That's okay. I approve.
Coming off. Yeah.
Round begins in.
You know, Kilson said teabagging is not necessary. I disagree.
Fight.
Unnecessary. All right, so that's a better spawn for Sirius if he. Okay, no, for Toxic. Yeah, I'm glad he actually got off that sword lag. It's definitely better for Galena. But Sirius is going to have heavy LG rail. Tox will have, well,
it was weird because
Mega's left up.
He was playing Solag the first 2 rounds, and we saw the score at that point. I don't know if he should have been, I don't know, convinced to play Galena off the start quite as soon as he has. But maybe he feels like he just needs something else, something a little bit different just to take him past the finish line on Ruins.
Really good damage coming out of Sirius here so far. And with this play on the heavy, he can get back up towards Mega and at least put some pressure on it, but he's playing a little bit slower. Heading over towards jump pad instead. And Sirius still hasn't managed to get a rocket launcher this round just yet, so he's going to make his play right now. It's going to allow Toxic to get back out towards LG.
I don't know if that was in range for Tox to know it's piercing sight, but either way, this is going to hurt somebody. I thought it was going to hurt either of them a bit more than it did, but in the end it was just one rail exchanged. And all at the cost of a piercing sight.
That double back from Sirius was interesting. He heard the rocket spam from Tox and doubled back. It meant that he could still beat Tox to the Mega, but he kind of gave it up, and he didn't get anything out of it. Interesting.
Well, stacks are even, so he doesn't lose out loads. He just knows that it could be down to execution on the aiming next. He sees the drop down, goes for a brilliant vertical rail.
Speaking of execution, it's been all in Sirius's court so far. It's chipping away a lot of what Tox is putting together, but I don't think Sirius heard Tox cross over. He's looking for the play through the teleporter. There it is. And yeah, Tox is kind of a little bit flat-footed here. The totem could help him. Is it going to be enough? Sirius is weak, looking for that last rail. Oh, and Tox can't quite put it together. He's even jumping up looking for it. And Sirius still manages to break out and get the Mega.
I was really brave from Sirius to stick around while he was vulnerable to a rail. You get away with murder in that instance, especially if it's a game to play like Tox, but he's going to find him at the bottom of the bounce pad. 2 big rockets. Tox, though, he's got some in return. The finishing blow was not there from Sirius. And when you drive out the
That is
OKs
just,
from Sirius, you've done good
That's
work.
the
good work.
balancing of the karmic scales. That everything is fair now. All is
Yeah,
makes sense again.
the world is balanced.
It's almost a really nice rocket.
Be
Yeah.
healed in the power of the ancients.
Okay.
But that could be the death wish from Tox. You don't want to force
Yeah.
Sirius to do this. Now he's going to be mad. Not mad, but mad enough.
I mean, he's got the
he wants
stack.
to fight.
Look at this. Tox has nothing. Nothing. Except a corner to play around.
Sometimes he only needs nothing, but in this instance, I don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah,
He does
no.
get a rail shot out, but now our champion score is tied up. Sirius is okay, does him well, and we have Sorlag, who's actually going to land some damage over time with that spit.
All right, but now he's going to be a little bit bereft of armor. Tox is going to be a Sorlag with a lot of armor. That's dangerous. Even with the rocket derail, a great rocket derail, not going to be enough against the onslaught of that LG. Let's see if Tox can manage to recover here. It's going to be a little bit of time before Mega comes up. A little bit of time after that before Heavy comes up. So Tox has got to play the Poverty Atoms just a little bit longer here.
And actually, he's got a great split between the two major items. He's got enough LG ammo as well to deal with this.
1 minute warning.
Know that it's up. Looks like he was just chasing some hourglasses. And if anything, I'd say this split between the items is almost more favorable. One more frag is all Tox needs, and he can take an advantage in the series. Go 2-1 up to stretch to 5. There's the atom spit. He's done some damage. The LG's great, and there's the rocket to close out the map. Bang on the 4 minutes and 20 seconds mark.
It's amazing how those stairs can just work out where even if your opponent sees you, the angle just lets you get so much damage in. Your opponent's like trying to track like the floor as you're coming up, and just didn't go his way. Yeah, but that was like 60 health at the end. But yeah, well done, Toxic. A really solid map as he's going to be up 2-1 over Sirius. And next was Molten Falls, I believe.
Yes, I think you're right. That was Sirius's map pick as well, I believe. Molten is going over to Tox's side, but you know we're down to like the last couple of maps in the whole pool anyway, so they're both incredibly well versed of these regardless. But
I mean,
maybe OG can win instead of New G. If that makes you know what I'm saying.
I love it when you try to street. It's a beautiful thing.
Try to street. Oh God.
All right, but either way, I mean, we got no slash once again. We got no anarchy. Sorlag very well could come back out. We didn't see Eisen get a whole lot of you know, a lot of usage, a lot of mileage out of that last map. Maybe here he could be used a little bit more. Sirius is saying that he needs a minute to recollect his brain. Yeah, when you drop on a Toxic and Tox doesn't hear the drop, doesn't turn around when you start firing, and you still lose the fight. Yeah, that
and
it takes
also
a bit of a reset, right?
Not being able to time Heavy. I think we can only give him a limited period of time, but he really should be going into this go like one of the few things I need to be taken care of is when the heavy armor spawns. And I'd almost go as far as to say that time that more than you time Mega, depending on who you're playing. I think at the time he was playing Galena, in which case I would say time Heavy more.
Yeah, the heavy is a lot stickier when it comes to getting in a fight. Like you look at Mega and initially you think, oh wow, that's a messy Mega position. But then when you actually start playing it, you're able to bounce out of there fairly quickly, even if you don't take the jump pad. And by the time you're under that ledge, you're safe-ish. And even if you're not, then you can get around a corner, get some more health, get around another corner, get out of there. Heavy is a lot harder to extract from if you're caught there flat-footed.
Yeah, this is true. I don't think we're going to see. I'm going to regret saying this because I'm going to be wrong, but I think this would be a weird map to have Sorlag on. Do you agree or disagree?
I mean, she's fast, and when you're looking for fast champions right now, it's Sorlag or Clutch, right? Or Athena.
Athena's. I think this should be. Athena should be here, in my opinion. Maybe they will go for Sorlag on Molten. I don't know. Like, there's still a lot of space for you to move around. But again, those
suffice to say,
angles,
they both have excellent LG, and yeah, Sorlag is asking for trouble when it comes to that. So
we'll see. Our questions will be answered in a second as we're now moving into the champion picks between the two players. And again, if Tox wins this map, he wins the series, guaranteed in the money, into the semifinals, and would go versus Razy, which would also be a barn burner of a series, to be fair.
Aizen's out, okay. I like Eisen a lot on Molten Falls, actually. There's a lot of kind of dead angles he can play.
That
You get a
range
lot of good
Visor.
information,
Yeah.
get a lot of damage.
I would also consider Visor here. He's going to go Ranger Eyes also thinks totally legit. Full VQ3 lineup that we have for Tox. And we're going to get a very similar one from Sirius. So there is no Sorlag. I shouldn't have been so afraid about my my analysis. It's very astute.
No Sorlag, no Athena. Yeah, it's going to be a lower and slower matchup, but it could also turn into just running at each other with gauntlets, as we saw on Blood Run. So we'll
should
see.
be interesting though. This should
I like
be a good
Eisen
one.
though.
I'm a big Eisen fan actually. I just wish I was better with him.
Yeah.
But I love that you can just get some great information from it.
Oh,
It's
you
far more apparent for you as a player than just dropping a totem round as a Galena, dealing a little bit damage, putting him on teleporter exit or buy an item. It's really good just for slowing down your opponent, making them think a bit more. We start, guys. We are into map 4 in this quarterfinal between Tox and Sirius in the OGA Quake Pit, powered by AMD and Sapphire. And we are on Toxic at the start, as he is on Eisen, who we've just been talking about.
Yeah, and only Rockets right now, but he's looking to play the corner just a little bit. A lot of time before any of the items come up. So right now it's all about weapons, and consequently all about, if I slow him down going over to LG, then he can't commit to this later. But right now, Toxic's got everything he needs. Might not be able to make a play for Mega, but Sirius actually shows up here pretty early for the play on Heavy. And depending on how Tox plays that, he could actually put some pressure on the exit from the Mega, especially if they collapse down here on the staircase. Yeah, he's going to anticipate that, but not commit.
No funny business so far. Tox going to hold a strong position up top. You've always got to be careful of that sudden dire orb in. You almost don't know where it could possibly be. I feel like Sirius is more likely to use it for damage than a player like Tox is. Tox seems to be very happy to just use it for almost pure mobility. And also, I can't really say which one's better because they both get great output from it. Of using the ability in two very different ways.
And Tox nearly got some info off of that Tribolt. As it stands, he's only going to hear some pitter-patter. But not a whole lot of damage dealt out just yet.
No, that's not like how much
There's the
damage
play
has
up
been dealt.
to the rail room, yeah.
66 damage has been dealt by both players.
Wow.
Can
About
confirm.
as even as you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Sirius having the Mega, Tox on the Heavy. But there's the alert from the turret just a little bit. Oh, if that rocket is damaged, damn.
I thought it was hitting. I thought so too. But Tox is looking pretty good actually with this main house. I mean, they both are. Their stacks couldn't really be more even at the moment. There's no damage to really split it anymore. So it's basically just down to that overstack degrading over time. In fact,
the turret. Learning
overstack
things once again.
degradation has probably been the most powerful damage this game so far.
Well, that's all about to change. As we have a bit of a fight and a great rail coming out of Tox. Sirius is going to be a little bit worse for the wear, trying to figure out which way to go after the rail room. Tox is putting some pressure on the jump pad and on the banana. Great rail. Oh my god, how did he sense that? Does he have eyes on the back of his head? Jeez.
That was rapid, and I love the quick little strafe out of there because he knew that it would be just as easy for Sirius to land a shot. I say easy, they make it look easy. And these items are definitely helping Tox as well. Sirius is... Well, he needs to be punished, if I'm honest, because Tox has done great. He just can't let this next minute go without him affording a couple of frags, or at least one.
Well, just like the last map, he's a little bit low on rockets, but the LG is going to be good. It's going to be enough at this range.
Wow.
Sirius manages to make a late switch, and with 5 HP left, get the first frag on the board. Given all the damage that Toxic did in that last fight, it's shocking to say the least, but there we have it. Sirius' LG is just ridiculous.
Yeah, and that orb was actually amazing. The damage that he managed to inflict with just that. Sirius was a little bit negligent of the mega health, I gotta say. He should have known the timing for it, yet was ignoring it when Sirius was just sitting upon it. LG on LG yet again. Tox is gonna win on this occasion.
You can face me.
His mental accuracy. We're actually hitting 44 from both of them.
Yeah.
To be honest.
And there's a little bit of that screw your LG, I can LG too.
Yeah.
Coming out of Tox here, but worked out well to even up the frags at least. First round, 1 minute left. And with the heavy taken by Sirius, he's going to have a little bit of an advantage here. So this fight over Mega could be interesting, especially since Tox is going to have to break out here for a rocket launcher. Oh,
Nice.
if that caught him in the air.
That would
Knock him out, but he's still playing the corner. Not getting any hits out of his rockets, though. It's unfortunate.
He was
Breaking
there
out
for
of
too
here
long.
with the little health that he has left. 2 seconds to heavy. It's going to be Sirius on top of it.
Yeah, Tox was around the mega health for way too long, I think. Going for the rockets was hopeful. If he stuck with an LG fight, I actually think that would have been better for him, as he had that escape route as soon as he wanted it via the means of a teleporter. He steals away the mega health. Now he's looking pretty good, but we're going to get into sudden death for the first time today, I want to say.
Yeah. We almost had a few moments earlier, but here's the first proper one. Now Sirius is going to have his ability to pop. Some information for Sirius, not so much for Toxic. There's the heavy taken. 7 seconds to Mega. Tox is going to have a good position over it. But as Sirius is coming around the LG corner, Tox is ready for him, or is he?
Whoa.
That was so weird how that didn't turn into a messy fight from anybody.
I don't know what Tox was thinking to feel that the orb was the right play onto Mega Health. If he wasn't expecting the attack, maybe he felt that there was an attack and he heard a sound too quickly on LG and was like, get out of there as quickly as possible. But it didn't look like he felt anyone was actually down by the Mega Health already.
Yeah.
Slightly
Tox can
confusing.
kinda
Yeah.
walk his way into a heavy. He's going to have sights on Mega, but it will be taken by Sirius.
Very shy. They're very timid at the moment.
Respectful is the official word.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Remember, nothing's overpowered. It's dangerous. Yeah. Oh. Great tri-bolt at range, but yeah, he's not committing to that dire orb. We've seen this happen on Awoken. Toxic making good use of it again, and Sirius goes down. First round on Molten goes
That
to Toxic.
orb.
This is important.
Prepare
Tox is
to
mapped up.
fight.
Yeah, that orb was everything, actually. It did no damage whatsoever, but it was everything, because it's a serious.
You could see Sirius going, there's no way he would commit to an orb from that far away. That would be, oh my god, that's exactly what he would do. He turns around just for that moment. Like,
It was like a moth just drawn to the
Yeah.
light bulb as it went past in the end.
he was trying to resist the urge to look at it, but you know, paranoia reigns supreme. Great nailgun damage. Tox doing well. Still alive, and Sirius manages to get turned around. Toxic nearly kills himself with the nailgun, but there's a very fast first frag. Definitely a different round from the last one.
I mean, big uh-oh. Squelch.
Yep.
There's another one. That one won't achieve as much. Tox might regret. Well, actually, Sirius hasn't got his up, so this heavy's up for grabs.
It's a common problem. Alright, but one frag off of each. Sirius still has Galena to play with. I don't really get Galena as a third champion, but here we are. Oh my god. That LG is just, I mean, that was a nice rail too to finish off. But that LG is just stupid.
Yeah, 49% LG. Like, Sirius's LG is just going up.
Yeah.
At this point, it's not really, like, it's not meant to do that. It's just unbelievable what he's hitting sometimes. And I gotta say, between Tox and Sirius, I think that Sirius is winning the unofficial LG off. Well, no, the very official LG off. Would you agree? Or would you want to put yourself out there enough to agree or disagree?
You know me, I'm never afraid of saying the wrong thing. But in this case, I'm not afraid of saying the wrong thing if it means agreeing with you. So, yeah. It'll take him a minute, don't worry, guys. All right, so Sirius is gonna be looking for a play here on Mega. Could be a little bit lighter on ammo, but not like Toxic levels of light. Interesting orb across mid to go towards rail, just to get a few hourglass shards and a little bit of armor.
Yeah,
Just gonna hear him down by the TP.
Tox has got to push the issue soon. I say soon. You don't want to leave it too late. Not with this limited time that we have. And he's got the right kind of champion actually to make a play happen.
Sirius takes the initial damage. He's just spamming off on this rocket launch. Ooh, okay. Nice.
Oh.
Great. What the fuck? Really? 200
Steady?
damage
Steady?
rockets after a jump like that? Are you serious? Well, I guess he is. All right, so no rockets left for Sirius at this point, but Toxic had to beat Heat back over towards the Mega. Yeah, that's okay. We won't talk about that jump.
It was a nice, it's
Great
a hot
rail.
jump. It's not an
And yeah, this is the fight that Sirius wanted initially. I cannot believe about those 200 damage rockets. How do you hit that? They're both so weak. This is the time to leave
Yeah,
for both of them. Time to bounce.
just everyone go away. Let someone else get the heavy armor. Tox is feeling good at the moment. And he does need to get something done. Oh, okay, that orb goes to nowhere. There's going to be a chase. The rail misses!
Oh no.
Oh, that could have been so clutch, but not
He
to
went up
be.
the jump pad too. Yeah, the jump pad makes it a little bit tougher to make those shots. Parallax and all that.
If you had LG ammo left, it would have actually been just fine. There was, what, 20, 30 health left for Sirius, but it's one of those few instances where Tox is going to miss an important shot like that. However, we do go into round 3 all even. We are with
moment.
Sirius. Yeah, for the short moment. The thing that isn't even is the map score.
Alright, so this is going to tell Tox exactly where Sirius is playing from. So Sirius has got to take that into account. But with that heavy armor coming up pretty soon, Sirius doesn't really want to go out the other way. Wants to sit nice and tidy up here, waiting for it. Won't have exact timing since he didn't get the first pickup, but he's got to know just about when it's coming up, especially as Toxic is trying to move in on it as well. So there's the pickup, Heavy and Mega perfectly in sync.
I mean, he had a glance down there, so he's probably going to assume that as well. Strange rocket.
A little bit light on the ammo here, and a little bit light on the LG damage as well. He's going to be just dunked out of there. Tox is going to have a bit more to work with, and yeah, you hear those hourglasses, you have to know you're in trouble, but what is this LG damage that Sirius is doing? What is that rail? What? He can't keep getting away with it. 51% LG.
It's just silliness. He gets the rocket. He almost gets knocked out of the map. Tox is still trying to. He is able to conjure up a mutual frag of some sort, but it is Sirius who still has an advantage and a mighty fine champion as well to work with. There's going to be 1 rocket and 2, and that is the round for Sirius.
What?
all off from that rail that we saw early on.
As soon as you hear those hourglasses around Banana, and you know that you're kind of flat-footed, you're not on the health itself, you've got your back up against the wall, I thought, that's it, Sirius is done. But he just unloaded with his shaft.
That was insane.
Spraying cells everywhere. Buckets of cells.
the rail was aspectful as well.
Jeez.
That's some good LG once again. Can't get the vertical rail quite there. Tox does actually move through the teleporter, but Sirius still knows the angle that he wants to cover. And that pesky turret just takes away his attention for a moment that he didn't want to share.
I'm just mad. Alright, but Sirius on the Mega, 5 seconds to the Heavy, and it's going to be Toxic with priority on it. Yeah, Sirius is just going to look for the exit towards rail. Good time to pop the piercing sight. But you can see how cautious Toxic is with most of his movement. I say most because, you know, last round he just walked down the stairs and ate 2 rockets to the face. That happens sometimes too.
Well, they're going to see each other for a second, but timing just denied them both the angle. By the rail side. Meg's now been taken. There's a nice little sound cue for Tox. But neither of them want to approach this fight. I mean, there's still a lot of respect being given between these 2 players, which I like to see.
Periodically.
We see some mental fights happening occasionally. They just spot this frame, I don't know, a window of time. There are frames on windows, and it's just that's it. That you can bite that now or never, and sometimes they just choose to go with it, and it's all about executing at the highest possible level, which they tend to do.
Poor Toxic, because yeah, he gets a good setup around a corner, and then Sirius's LG. I'm not even worried about that jump, but that LG is just ridiculous. 53% right now.
It's 53. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It is always a shame though to miss a jump for the champion like Ryzer or something, or the champion that isn't Ranger. You can't absorb that damage so much, and you just lose. It's up to like 48, 50 health slash armor that you lose with a rocket jump, especially one that's at like full blast, full charge.
Yeah. I want to see Tox get a couple rails in before committing to a fight, because every fight so far has just been LG on LG, and Sirius is just out damaging at that point.
It really feels
Like there, I was kind of expecting Tox to peek a rail at that point, but he didn't. He just peeked and then ran. Running's good, but peek with the rail.
I really feel like Sirius has got this map, if I'm honest. This is hard work for
It's
Tox.
looking good for him, yeah. He might have just cursed it right there, but here's Piercing Sight available. Mega's going to be up. And yeah, he's looking for the fight around the corner. He's going to be finding Tox over back by rail instead. And Tox is here. He's still not going for any spam shots.
He just doesn't seem comfortable at all to do that. He's looking for where he can get the first opportunity. He doesn't want to go into a fight where the damage is exchanged. He really needs that angle first, and Sirius is just absolutely on the mark in terms he's always looking in the right direction. He's now moving in. This is the no respect play, pushing LG to rocket, and there's the frag that he's been waiting for. He's been working so hard for that. He's been maintaining his control pretty much flawlessly, and that's a very, very deserving first frag of the round.
But you're right, even the close range fight, Tox didn't really look prepared for it. And now Sirius is looking to collapse. Tox, he has nothing, yeah. He could hit a rocket or two, but yeah, he just doesn't have anything. So 1 minute left just about, but Sirius might just be going in for the kill. We got Galena up. It's going to be a little bit of damage coming off that totem. So Sirius is going to be backing off. 1 second to Mega, and yeah, Tox is off rotation. But what is this? Sirius is actually checking rail first, all right.
He messed up the rotation a bit there. This gives a glimmer of hope for Tox, and I mean really just a glimmer. He's got everything to do in these last 50 seconds to stay on the map. Otherwise, guys, we do go over to a tiebreaker, which is also something that we can look forward to. But
yeah,
for anyone who wants it to happen a little sooner, it might be denied.
I'm wondering if, yeah. Oh my god, looking for that last rocket. There it is, just barely skating over that one. 3-1 on Molten Falls. GG called. 2 maps to 2 maps as we go into a tiebreaker on Corrupted Keep.
You know, I was really scared that we'd go in, because we were both expecting this to be a close series between Tox and Sirius. 53 LG. Silly.
It's ridiculous.
And it's actually turned out that way. I feel like we would say we're going to hype it up to be like a really close series, and it's just like 3-0 to one of them. But it's absolutely not been. It's been neck and neck pretty much the whole way. Sure, some wins have been 3-1, some 3-2.
We're that good. That's why we're paid the big bucks. We make all the right predictions, yeah.
And it is Corrupted Keep, which is going to be the last map as well, which is also really, really exciting.
It's got an LG in it.
Yeah. This is where it comes down. Whoever gets the highest LG. Well, honestly, I think Tox is going to get like 8% more LG than Sirius to show that he has the bigger LG.
I want to say Tox can do this because it's going to be a smaller map. He's going to be able to play the corners of Sirius a little bit more. Did really well on Woken that way, of course. Oh no, Sirius took a Woken. I'm sorry. Might have to reconsider that.
Rip.
But we saw some problems there from Tox in terms of just even when he knew which corners to peek, he wasn't committing any shots to those corners at all. Like rails, rockets, anything. Like every fight that started was because they started, mid-range, shooting each other at the same time. Got really messy.
You're right. He wasn't really. He was just letting Sirius take the items for free, when normally you're just like, I'm going to try and punish him with just 1 rail. Or something, like anything. Even if it was spam, he wasn't even spamming anymore at that stage. Which is something he'd been doing so much earlier in the series, especially when he was taking that map advantage ultimately. So we're going to see the champions being picked. Visor, Galena for both players. It's going to be an Eisen. I really feel like Ranger is just great here.
Yeah.
And it's going to be
there's that
Sirius.
Ranger.
I'm going to have to say, based on that Sirius is going to win the map. But what in chat, who's winning, guys? Is it going to be Tox or is it going to be Sirius? This is Battle of Old versus New. New won in the series between Razy and Kilson. It was 3-1 to Razy in the end. The winner of this series is going to go versus Razy tomorrow. I think it would be the first game at 1600 Central European time.
Yep.
There's a lot of Sirius, actually. There's a lot of everything. Fox and Sirius. Very, very
There could be a
interesting.
little bit less Tox unless he plays his cards right. We're gonna have to see which way it goes right here on Corrupted Keep. The tiebreaker comes down to this. Sirius is gonna be spawning right on the Mega. It's a neat spawn for getting the Mega right away, but it's a little bit less neat for everything else. Like showing up at Rockets is a little bit awkward. Heavy's right out. Anything other than the LG is kind of right out. But as we've seen, the LG is capable of so much in the hands of Sirius.
Yeah, absolutely is. Both should have that weapon now. So I've got my eyes on Tox as well. A little bit of early damage. Oh, I was going to say, seriously, Tox fights right back. He's still moving in with the LG, looking for that spam rocket, which he does connect a little bit with. Heavy machine gun's a brilliant switch, but now has to account for that mega health being picked up, and that he's not actually going to be able to finish the frag if he tries to, moving into a more aggressive position. But we kind of
This is going
reset.
to be ever so slightly better for Tox because, I mean, Sirius has to drop down here for some armor. Tox can move across mid. We can kind of decide which angle to play. But look at this. Tox was assuming that Sirius was going to be pushing forward on that, so he was still spamming the corners off all defensively as he could. A great pop. Didn't quite get the LG switch that he needed. And that's going to be a nice little bit of damage from Tox to get that first frag.
Oh, the shotgun!
What? Oh my god! Oh, absolutely disgusting. He just got his super turbo turkey punched.
You went full 40 this time.
Yeah. It's alright.
You've got to respect the super shotgun, man. I completely. Wow, Sirius starting to hit a little LG. He was a little weak in the first fight. He was at 31%, now at 41%. The LG is growing in this young man.
Tox is down to his Eisen. Just waiting on this heavy armor. And the teleporter could be unsafe at the moment. He's going to go through Red Room instead. He's going to get caught here up against the wall. It's a shooting gallery, but the shooting gallery shoots back as Toxic's rockets are just fantastic at the moment.
That was the. If he didn't hit that rocket, I honestly think he loses around there.
He would have been in trouble, yeah.
That was an insane rocket, and I think Sirius will actually be slightly annoyed that that rocket would have hit, because that just possibly ended the round, or it's just given Tox a new breath of life in the round. I think.
Or Tox has realized how many rockets he doesn't have and decides not to commit to that heavy. I think he was going across mid, peeked over to the right side of his screen, was like, ah, right, yeah, that.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Again.
Caught in the crossfire with the turret. It could be enough, but that last rocket goes wide, giving Sirius the frag, giving Sirius the round. This is the tiebreaker, and Sirius is one round up on Toxic.
Here we go.
Round begins.
You know what? I'm almost upset that we didn't get a Sorlag here. I think Sorlag would have been really. I would have loved to have seen Tox pick Sorlag instead of.
Anytime you're able to get the
I think
door rocket
instead of
jump out
Lena.
towards heavy, it just feels good. Feels amazing.
But then again, Tox, I don't know. He has a tendency of doing it. I think back of DreamHack Winter 2017 actually, where Sorlag was like a secret weapon and he wouldn't go to it often enough. And I feel like this could be a similar kind of scenario. And it's serious with the
Tox is
first
already on his
blood
back foot, and even on the spawn, Tox has taken a little bit of damage. He's able to take away one pick of the rocket launcher, but nowhere near enough to really stay defensive. He's even wondering, really, this heavy's for me? I get to have this? All right, great.
here.
But still, no LG, no shotgun. Back across mid. He's going to be heard. Yeah, Sirius is going to be more than ready for him here. Tribolt is dangerous at this range. Like, you could do the damage, but if you guess the wrong side of the pillar, you're in trouble. Just like that. He didn't even hear Sirius go down and around, and so Sirius gets the frag as well as the Mega.
Look at that rocket jump to get back to heavy, force the spawn elsewhere if possible, even though actually forcing the spawn there probably would have only been good for him. He's got all the control, he's going in, he wants to finish this round now. Managed to hit those two rockets, 2-0. These first two rounds have been a formality, they've been making the Toxic way too mediocre.
Oh.
Sorry to say it. I expect Toxic 2-1 up in the series. We get it equalized 2-2 from Molten Falls, and now Tox is on the brink. The thing is, though, Sirius has now got some stresses of his own to look after. He can see the finish line, the light at the end of the tunnel. Can he keep himself composed for this final round? Potentially final round.
I mean, Sirius went for the more aggressive move off that spawn. Getting the nailgun spawn means you automatically win Mega. You can probably get to heavy first, but it's not a sure thing. It's like, it's one of my favorite spawn pairs in Quake Champions, just because it's so ambiguous, but ended up taking some good damage. Great rockets coming out. Oh, but that shotgun could have done the trick. They're both going to be incredibly weak.
Oh, this is
Sirius
bad for
is
Sirius.
14 seconds off from this Mega. Yeah, he's got almost nothing in. And the Red Room health is too dangerous for him to even want to contemplate. The Boneyard might be it, but he doesn't have LG to defend himself. Nails are going to be dangerous at that range. Rockets unreliable. This is all bad for Sirius.
He's kind of repaired a bit of it by just his clambering for all of these small items, but yeah, no LG. If you can keep position on heavy, he's looking all right. But Tox, I think Tox is voluntarily giving it up. Okay, maybe
great
not.
rocket. Two great rockets, and oh, he Zorax himself. Sirius is back in trouble here. He's got to leave. Got to realize, you know, those two rockets are just down the drain. Time to boot on out. He's able to get away with the Mega and get the frag. Toxic just couldn't stick it in.
Tox didn't play the advantage onto the heavy early enough. He had everything going for him. Sirius has clawed his way back into the round, and he's in a dominating position right now. He's looking to close this one out for sure. This is hard to tell. Even with only just one frag happening this round, this is so difficult for Tox to fix.
Ooh.
That LG can fix it. On the rocket as well!
Yep.
Wow.
I mean, what a great pop that was, and that's a really good time to make that frag as well. Tox is able to get the Mega off of it with plenty of time to set up for the heavy. But he's going to be, again, a little bit light on rocket ammo. Yeah, get yourself that. He still has time to make it back. He hasn't given anything to Sirius except maybe a way to hide a little bit longer.
Heavy. Go for heavy. Go.
He's looking.
Damage.
He wants the frag.
Yeah, that's all he wants.
He hears the pickup of the HMG.
But he's giving
That's
up
some
heavy.
decent LG, but it pushes his opponent back towards the heavy. Is he going to come through the teleporter? There it is. The Dire Horde doesn't do anything.
Oh!
He's ready for the shotgun, and there it is. Toxic is down to his final life. Sirius is able to recover on the Mega. Jump right over the turret.
Game is so hard at the moment for Tox. He was playing only damage on items. He wasn't looking for control. He was just looking to inflict the DPS. And it didn't work. He missed like one rocket, which could have sealed the fight. And Sirius reliable with the shotgun. He's now put himself on match point frag. This would send him over to the semis. Tox, though, with the super nail gun doing a lot of damage. The rockets are coming close. Little slither of LG. Tox will eventually find the Mega health, which is incredibly necessary.
Not sure what Tox has, like, weapon-wise. He's throwing out a ton of nails. Not much else. He has 4 rockets. Not like Sirius has many more than that. He's going to get an ammo pack, though. There's another turret out. They're going to be pretty even on the stacks at the moment, but Heavy's coming up first, which means it's go time for Sirius if he so decides. But Tox is actually bringing the fight to him. It's going to be a way out with the Dire Orb, but just barely. Sirius trying to dodge some of these rockets. There's going to be another second to the Mega, but Tox leaves it a little bit early, and he is nailed to the wall. That is going to be Sirius taking the map, taking the 5th map in the series, and Toxic is knocked out of the running for the pit.
Brutal. Absolutely brutal. What a performance from Sirius in this last map. He kept himself composed. He